My name is Tom Rhodes, and I've lived in Dallas all my life and love the city, and I now work for Sedco Inc. out on 1901 North Akron, the old schoolhouse. I and a group of my friends read with considerable concern the resolution which the city passed here last Tuesday night, which would block any further alteration to the old Texas Schoolbook Depository pending an application for federal funds to commemorate this site as a national monument. I represent Dallas Onward, which is a group of interested people who feel strongly that this site should be demolished. It's scourged on the great name of our city, and we feel it should be demolished and dedicated as a park or some positive contribution to the city. To the extent that this resolution says that, we're all for it. To the extent that it takes this second step and says that this is a national site which should be commemorated and preserved, we hardly disagree with it.
Rescind the action taken at last Tuesday's council meeting regarding the Dallas School Depository on the grounds that the City Council has no legal right to instruct the city building inspector not to issue permits for demolition, alteration, changes, or modification on this or any other privately owned structure in the city of Dallas. I'd like to refer to our city attorney for an opinion in this matter.
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Mayor,
I reserve the right to express my thinking on this, Mr. Taylor, before you, Mr. Smith, before you take on something you don't want the other people to speak on.
Could I get an opinion from our city attorney as
Well,
well?
may I ask for a point of clarification?
Just a minute now, let's have one at a time.
Mr. Mayor, I want
Victor, could you give your legal opinion?
I'd like to get a point of clarification.
Mr. Mayor, I want to
on the
speak to the
question.
motion. I want to speak to the motion before you start.
May I have a clarification from our city attorney?
Councilman Cadane has the floor.
According to our procedures, now this motion would be out of order because the person that rescinds, a motion has to be for it before. The person opposing it, like he did before, at the last meeting, cannot rescind a motion.
That's correct.
According to our procedures.
Could I have an opinion from our legal counsel whether this motion is legal? Can we legally instruct the city building inspector not to issue permits?
On that particular motion, on that particular element of it, you cannot prohibit him from issuing building permits if legally the building is structurally correct and so on. He is entitled to a building permit. The moratorium you attempted to place on this thing is one of some doubtful validity.
Some doubtful validity.
Yes.
Well, then would you answer Mr. Cadane's question? What about Mr. Cadane?
As to Mr. Cadane's question, the council is often hoisted on its own petard. That's true. The one who was on the losing side of the last motion cannot now vote or make the motion to rescind it.
Thank you, Tom, for your
Councilman Zeter, I don't think that we're that far apart. I think we all have the same ends in sight, and I think we're working towards those goals, Fred, and we want something done.
Well, then I would ask Councilman Weber if he would present this resolution that is pretty much the same as his.
It really-
at this time.
Okay. All I'd say is that, Fred, that we had a long time to study, and I talked to you about it and called you on it, and I think we've all been through it. It's been passed, and let's put it in the middle and see if what Tom said is going to happen. If they're going to come forward with private funds, let's go ahead. But let's be working together and not trying to torpedo the whole thing.